somebody prepared to read that for us so everyone can... It's in español.
Un caballero de edad sentado junto a la señora Loeffler recalcó que las cosas se estaban poniendo feas en moral. En las ciudades de provincia, dijo, nuestro pueblo se encuentra en un peligro real. Cuando los alemanes están de mal humor, destrozan las ventanas de los judíos. Cuando los checos están desanimados, asaltan las casas judías. Los pobres están empezando a emigrar, pero no saben a dónde ir. Lo siento venir, gritó Lashley. Todos debemos usar la insignia amarilla. O emigrar, dijo el rabino. Le pregunto a dónde, señaló Walter. ¿Acaso las cosas están mejor en alguna otra parte? Los antisemitas prosperan aún en la Francia libre.
Okay, who wrote that and when? When do you think this is from? Sorry? Before the Second World War. How much before the Second World War? Okay. Good. I gave you a hint to begin with. Indeed, it was Herzl, who wrote it in 1897. In 1902, in his book Alt Neuland. How many of you have read Alt Neuland? Okay. And I'll take advantage of that to let you know that we just published the book again in Alt Neuland in Sfaradi, in Espanol, and we're going to make sure that you get copies of it so that you can all read Alt Neuland. A very important book in many ways. Back. Okay, what about this paragraph in particular? What strikes you? What do you find particularly interesting in this paragraph that I took from his book Alt Neuland?
They're talking about anti-Semitism 40, 50 years before the Holocaust.
Before the Holocaust, and he says insignia ameria. In Chile it's amaria. How does he talk about that? Where does that come from? He wrote this in 1903, 1902. What was he talking about when he wrote that? Anybody know? When the Nazis took that, it wasn't the first time in our history. Back in the ghettos in the Middle Ages, Jews also had to wear a yellow patch. It wasn't the first time. Hopefully it's the last, but it wasn't the first time. And here he writes that los antisemitas prosperaron en la Francia libre, okay? And today, probably the country in the world right now where there's the most anti-Semitism is in France. To me, when I read this, it's amazing that he could think ahead to what would be, and of course it also shows that he was very, very wrong. Because what did Herzl think would happen with anti-Semitism? What did he predict? He predicted, I don't know whether it's, he predicted that with the rise of the Zionist movement, and certainly with the establishment of a Jewish state, that anti-Semitism would disappear. And I think we all know today that that's not the case. And that brings me to a model for talking about Israel, for relating to Israel, to understanding Israel, to explaining Israel to others, that now I refer to as the DJ Alt TLV model. Anybody have any idea what those might stand for in my model? DJ. There's another book that Herzl wrote before he wrote Alt Neuland. What book? Der Judenstaat, thank you. Okay, next. You can press the button. Der Judenstaat from 1896. Alt, I've already told you, Alt Neuland. Okay? Next. And Tel Aviv, of course, is Tel Aviv. What's the connection, by the way, between Alt Neuland and Tel Aviv? Anybody know the connection? When Nachum Sokolov translated the book Alt Neuland into Hebrew, what did he call the book?
Tel Aviv.
Tel Aviv. Thank you. How did he translate Alt Neuland to Tel Aviv? What's the meaning of Alt Neuland?
A country old and new.
Old new land, okay. And what's a tel? You've all been to Israel? No. Who's been to Israel? Okay, so those who have been to Israel have been to a tel. Okay, what's a tel? It's a mountain of what? Of layers of civilization, of history. It represents the things that are old. And Aviv, you have Festival Aviv. It's the new. It's the spring. It's the rejuvenation of things. So he translated in a poetic kind of way Alt Neuland to Tel Aviv. So when I talk about from Alt Neuland to Tel Aviv, I'm really talking about Herzl's vision of this ideal Jewish state that would come into being. He wrote the book in 1902. Most of it takes place in an imaginary 1923. In his interpretation of what that Jewish state would look like.